back to the channel. We are playing Brazos Park East. 18 holes, par 64, almost 8,000 feet. We're starting on tournament hole 1, course hole 7. You've probably already watched footage of this course, but you probably haven't watched footage of amateurs playing this course. So here we go. Oof. You know, as far as terrible shots on T1 hole 1 go, that wasn't bad. Because I'm on the fairway, and I don't have a lost disc, but my goodness,
I didn't hear anything.
That's not a way to feel confident starting off this round. Justin with the high spike hyzer. He stays inbounds. That concrete path is OB, so you want to watch out for that. This is where my recovery shot landed, so I'm trying to throw it in to save par.
Oh, good.
Not too bad, honestly. Just to get a bogey with that terrible tee shot. Hole 2 for us. Par 4, 631 feet. We're actually playing the short tee pad here. Half of our card had never played this course before, so we decided not to play the hardest possible layout. Here the concern is you've got the walking path on the right, the river right, so if you try and go too big and you flip it, because it seems like there's almost always a headwind on this hole, you could find water if it was bad. But you need to get some sort of turn on the disc like that if you want to bite off any distance to get towards the basket. Going Zeus here. A nice little airlift into that tree. It was nose up, but
It's flat.
I think we got a cut roller here. Justin's second, and it just barely sneaks OB, unfortunately. The sidewalk OB is deep of the basket as well, so you don't really want to sail this. You also don't want to short it like that. If you do go over the sidewalk, there's a pretty decent breakwater here, so it's likely not a lost disc. But yeah, even though you're in the open, this course still has teeth. Up next, par 3, 320 feet. Really get to create your own adventure on this hole. You can throw a little lefty flex shot. I'm going Longhorn here, hoping that it'll get out there and then flare up that little hill, but it just stayed straight. A little past the basket, outside the circle, down this little hill. I missed David's tee shot. He played really fast, but the dude parked it. It was sick. Yeah, that green disc right there was awesome. Shout out to David. Into the jungle here. Hole 4 for us.
Fucking
hole 10.
Simon.
You've got to beat that tree that's in the middle of the fairway down there and start working left, but you still need to penetrate forward. So it seems like like an MD3 like this.
There it is.
Just drift inside that tree, something that's still moving forward. It's not hyzering out aggressively like a gator or a bobcat. Lefty, this is a much trickier hole. Although if you were going to somehow drive to circle 2, going to shiggle, still bad. Yeah, forehand flex or lefty backhand flex is like the only way to really get a look at a easy play of this hole. This hole is so many teeth. I've lost track of how many throws I've had already. This course in general, you don't want to try and be a hero if you're off the fairway. Like if you're out of position, just play it safe.
That'll work.
Because when you get aggressive and you get into more trouble again and again, that's how this hole gets you. By the way, there's water deep in the basket on this one. Papa G found it. Beautiful Brazos River. Par 3, 264 feet. You've got 2 tiers, and you really want to be up on the second tier like that. Because then you have a look at a putt. Throwing everything nose up today. Yeah, this is a great lefty hole. Kind of flex it down to the left and hyzer back out to the right. This is Justin's birdie look.
I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, once you're on the green here, it's pretty open. Yeah, nice little hole after the previous one. On to course hole 12, par 3, 267 feet. Now, the GoPro is not on the desired flight route. It is on the left edge of the fairway. But Justin and I just nail it, throwing it right over the camera. So now we'll get a look at how the lefties tackle this hole. So yeah, straight little tunnel, not too far, and then it just breaks down to the left. So this is a good forehand hole. It's a good lefty hole. You just kind of put it out there and let gravity and the fade of the disc do the work. Like that, he just put a little too much on. If he didn't put any flex on that and threw it flat, it would have faded right back down towards the basket. Yeah, this is about halfway down the fairway. You can see that orange disc on that slope. That's where that shot went. If you walk like halfway down the fairway to look at the basket, you'll be able to see what you need to do. On this hole, but this is all the footage you're going to see because we're trying to not play so slow with all of our scrambling.
Like, not like trip out and play, like just take.
Hole 13, par 4, 429 feet. You do have a Mando on the left side of the fairway up here that you have to fly. This gap you can't pitch through the woods out into the field. Yanked it. Respected that Mando too much. You can find yourself down into another fairway down to the right.
Good roll.
Yeah, this is a pretty solid tee shot here. You're in the field. He's a little choked up on the right. Down in the ditch there. This is bad. This is way too straight. Luckily I did have good footing down there, but this is a much better upshot. Now you can just pitch across, give the basket a soft run. It's a great way to play this hole. Hole 14, par 3, 213 feet. Just a little straight guy. Feeling artsy-fartsy, letting someone play through. Just a little straight putter shot. This hole does slope away more to the right, but it does also slope away deep of the basket, so you don't want to run it like chain high or anything. Ideally, you'd have something land about 20 feet short of the basket and just kind of scoot up to it. This is for par. Again with that P1. I'm going to throw that in one of these days. I'm liking that thing a lot for those soft bids. You can see how much it slopes away from the basket here. A sick putt by Justin. Hole 15, par 4, 519 feet. This hole is brutal.
Oh boy. Okay.
A little low and to the left, but he's in the fairway. And he bit off some distance. Fun little camera angle from the GoPro here. The shot's not worth seeing. It was bad. Off fairway to the left. I'm just going to have to pitch out. Early release, but he kicked into the middle, which in the middle is good on this hole. So yeah, this is where I pitched out to, throwing 3.
Oh, I thought I was going to split it.
Just trying to beat those 2 trees that I'm stuck behind now. Tilt is a pretty tight corner, but not as tight as you would think. Like, you want to be push out to the left. You don't want to ever be in the right. So if you're on the right side of the fairway all the way to the green, you're going to be a little pinched. So pitch out with the zone. A little deep of the basket, but that's all right. Hole 16, par 4, 591 feet. This hole feels like a breath of fresh air. Again, a little nose up, but look at all that room that I have to work with. I'm fine with that. Yeah, this hole feels like a breath of fresh air after the last couple holes. And again, this is the short tee pad. Not every hole has a short and a long, but I think so far I've called out all of them.
We are halfway through our round.
But you got lots of room off the tee, and then it starts to kind of bottleneck down to the left side of the fairway. Kind of in that dark space back there. I'm going envy here. Hit the gap. Didn't put any turn on it, unfortunately, though. Caught a tree and dropped down. Pretty fortunate, because this green as well kind of slopes down to the left and behind. Not as much as previous greens, but as you start to scoot out to 20 feet or so, you get a harder and harder putt. Hole 17, par 3, 279 feet. This hole can go wrong a lot of ways.
Do you have one?
I threw a buzz, and it just caught like some late turn and ended up being the best throw I've ever had by a long shot on this hole. Normally, you're going to find yourself around here, kind of halfway down the fairway.
Nice.
Justin was not off the fairway, though, so that was nice. Well, Papa G's got his hat on backwards. He means business.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, yep, that happens. Honestly, that rollaway wasn't bad. I've seen much worse. My only look I've ever had for 2 on this hole. There's just so many trees on this course. So much can go wrong. Yee! Hole 18, par 4, 609 feet. There are a couple of mandos to keep you from pitching out into the greenbelt parking space.
That was
I
not
barely made
not even close.
my way into the woods there. It's better, closer, warmer.
Go.
This is where I pitched out to. Throwing jackalope. Threw it a little low, didn't have time to get flat, and it cut rolled off the fairway.
You like me squishing your...
Forehand, good kick, back into the fairway there. This is kind of like a couple holes ago. You want to be, if you're going to be off the fairway, you want to be on the left side, not the right side, because on the right side you're real pinched. Left side's off the fairway is not great though here. It punishes you. You really want to be in the fairway. Here's looking back towards the fairway on the green, because you can't see this basket until really late.
Freaking 7.
This is a good get. And now the long walk from course 18 to course 1. You can see we've been getting some rain. We probably should have started on course hole 1 so we'd be in the woods for the rain, but oh well. Hole 1, par 4, 555 feet. There is a mando. Pretty easy to see, but that big gap straight off the tee, there's a Mando on the right side of it to protect the parking lot. Ideally, the play is not to do that. I didn't miss the Mando, but I still got to make it. Yeah, that is a solid play because it takes the Mando completely out of the equation, and there's tons of room down to the left. Pretty hard to reach OB down to the left. Yeah, I'm going the lobster here, trying to give as much air as possible under this thing and let it just pan out to the right.
That's OB in the fairway too.
About 150 from the basket. Just playing for par. Hole 2, par 3, 303 feet. You got road on the right, sidewalk on the left. As far as OB's concerned, deep. I don't think there's any OB deep for casual play. But yeah, forehand, lefty backhand. I try and go backhand turnover with that same lobster. Or like a gentle, like hyzer flip, and it turns into a turnover.
Dang it! That's in the next fairway.
And it goes way out into the road, unfortunately. Covered some distance though, so I have an opportunity to save 3, but meh. Hole 3, par 4, 558 feet. This one's even tighter. And yay, it started raining again. I mean, but what would be the B.East if you played it in perfect weather? Honestly, I'll take this though. I was taking score for some cards for round 1 of the 2022 Waco tournament for the Pro Tour when it was like 40 degrees with 20-mile-an-hour winds. It was a sufferfest. So just a little rain, I'll take it. I actually really like this hole for lefty. You can hang it over the road and play the skip. All you gotta do is not hit the curb. You got lots of airspace to play with over there. I don't know why that car was parked there. That is a parking spot. But the parking lot was open, so I'm not really sure. Going Longhorn here. Yanked it. It did almost find its way back in bounds under the fence. It was about an inch out of bounds, unfortunately. Throwing second, and yanked it again. Throwing third. Yanked it again. This one I was getting kind of annoyed and was trying to run the green. So I found myself a little snowman. That's where a good tee shot lands, and then where you pitch around to the basket. But yeah, don't play it like me. Anyways, hole 4, par 4, 609 feet. Little more room on this one. A lot more room, actually. You do have that fence, OB on the right, and a little bit of a walking path down there, but for the most part you have tons of room, whatever your max distance is. Roller's the only real sketchy thing. Going wave again, trying to redeem it after the last bad throw. Working my way towards that walking path, but hyzer's out nicely. Very stoked with that.
Tailwind.
That lie was kind of ridiculous. Nice bullet turnover though. I'm stoked that they're planting more trees because that'll kind of protect the walking path in the future and keep you from finding that OB if you go too straight. Yeah, stoked to get a 3 there. Hole 5, par 4, 610 feet, otherwise known as the Peninsula Hole. You've got thick woods on the right. You've got OB walking path on the left. There is a concrete boat ramp back there. As an AM, you're probably not going to find that. But for your second shot, you might find it. Liked what I saw out of there. Drives how the wind reacted. So I'm going freetail here.
Get low, get low, get low.
I'm taking the walking path out of play.
Righty cheater.
Very happy with that. I didn't quite make it to the corner. I thought I did, honestly, but...
No! Offside one.
Grass is too wet from the rain. Normally that would skip. Normally that would skip back in bounds. See if we can razz Papa G here.
Oh no!
Didn't even notice.
Go in the woods.
Hey! Yeah, Justin pitching up to the corner. Those two trees there are kind of your aiming point. Whether you're upshot and you're trying to work left, or right, excuse me. So yeah, David throwing the goat here. This is his fourth, counting the OB stroke. I lost it in the sky, but he almost made a pin high. You'll see where he's putting from there. That was a fantastic shot. The wind is starting to pick up as another round of rain is about to come in. Because the weather probably was like, oh, people are on the Peninsula Hole at Waco. Let's make it really windy and nasty. I ended up just pitching up to the rocks. I was too scared to run the green. It was a backhand with a Eclipse Envy. Couldn't have asked for a sicker approach shot. Honestly, with this wind, I was stoked with that. Justin playing a forehand. Getting crazy skips with that wind. But yeah, that's where David's upshot landed. That was sick. If it wasn't for OB, it's pretty much a money way to play that hole as a lefty. And just like that, the wind and the rain are gone. Lucky me. I'm trying to chase him down though. That triple OB shot myself in the foot. Yeah, hole 6, the water hole, par 3. David's going for it. There's a big strip of land over there you can pitch up to. A little short. Throwing my Calvin Destroyer on the layup, where you just kind of flirt with the water and hyzer it back towards the sidewalk, which is OB. Stuck the landing. Another layup.
You get it like down by the.
Yeah, unless you can throw it
You get a meter off.
over 400 feet as a righty, you're not attacking to the other side. The layup is definitely the play. Lefty, this has got to be just such a hard layup. You got to turn it. Actually, I know. I've played this hole left-handed a couple times. This is not a fun hole for the layup. And as a shiggle, I decided, why not? Let's throw a G-Star Wraith. There's no wind at this moment, but I'm jazzed. Threw an Envy across. I should have disked up to like a Bobcat or a Wasp. Overstable mid. That's normally my play, but I just for some reason was feeling the Envy, and it went straight. If I went overstable mid, I might have a look at a 3. Yeah, so that's my shiggle just in front of where my putter landed. So that was cool. I didn't think I could make it. I was kissing that disc goodbye. But yeah, so that's Brazos Park East in Waco, Texas. Definitely worth checking out. It's cool to be able to play on a Pro Tour course, and if you just keep it clean in the fairways, you can actually score pretty good here. It's not long. It just has tons of danger off the fairways. Papa G getting David's disc back and his shiggle back. He's always crazy enough just to get right on in. But yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you out there.
Filming that shot? Sure. So if you're filming that shot, then you can deduce kind of where it went in. That's the other nice thing about filming all the time.